Welcome back to Velsheen Rule. Despite President Trump's promises to cut spending, the country's fiscal deficit just smashed $1 trillion. The $1.07 trillion figure is nearly double what it was in 2016, and now it is our highest deficit since 2012. That is bad news for our $22.5 trillion national debt and the president's campaign promise to eliminate it in 8 years. Joining me now, Politico chief economic correspondent, CNBC contributor, and my dear friend Ben White. Ben, President Trump promised to pay down the national debt when he was running for president, and instead he's adding to it. This is something that normally infuriates Republicans. Yeah. It did when we saw the deficit, what it was in 2012, many of them. Why doesn't it matter anymore?
Well, it doesn't matter anymore because President Trump is president and he doesn't really care about it, and the rest of the Republican Party really only follows Trump's lead. So that's why it essentially doesn't matter. It also doesn't matter to a degree because we do have very low interest rates. We can kind of manage this debt and deficit at the moment. It's not a crisis for us in the immediate term, but it's not good longer term, and it certainly is going to be hard for Trump on the campaign trail to say, hey, I'm going to get the, he said he was going to eliminate the national debt and balance the budget, and tweeted before that nobody in Congress should stay in Congress if they don't balance the budget. That's all been thrown out the window. The debt and deficit are soaring under his watch.
Take me out of politics and into the American home, the American kitchen. Where and why do numbers like this matter? Where does it hit people?
Right. Well, it ultimately hits people with higher interest rates. When you have a federal government like ours that runs trillion-dollar annual deficits as far as the eye can see, the national debt is rising significantly, expected to rise as a percentage of the economy for years to come. Ultimately, that means that markets demand higher interest on American debt. They're not now. This is the long-term thing. And if they do, then that means your auto loan costs more, your house costs more. I'm saying right now they don't, but they will.
Welcome to the planet of short-termism, and that is where we live. So if you're President Trump, yes, you've said we're not going to get a deficit like this, but then he realizes nobody actually pays attention to that number. People couldn't even guess what it is. And he's pushing for interest rates to approach zero. So for the president, does he even care?
No, obviously. I think he should, long term, he should care. He is blowing up all of Republican orthodoxy for the last, many decades. I mean, Stephanie, you'll remember we almost shut the government down or we did shut the government down, almost breached the debt limit under Obama because Republicans were so worried about debt and deficit. But you're right, in the political sense, he shouldn't care that much because Americans don't care that much. And right now, there is no big cost to it. There's nothing that's hurting us in the short term. And I guess, it's frustrating to those of us who sort of care about the long term and the trajectory of the debt as a portion of the U.S. budget and the U.S. economy, that it's going to be bad long term. But right now, nobody cares about anything. And so Trump doesn't care about anything. And that's where we are.
Hey, MSNBC fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there and click on any of the videos here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. You can get more MSNBC for free every day with our newsletters. Just visit msnbc.com/newsletters to sign up now.